Laura Ray, and today we're going to talk about what I didn't know was a controversial brand, ColourPop. When they released back in 2014, that was right around the time I started my YouTube channel. And I was super excited to buy their makeup, try it out. So I did, and I got some terrible feedback. I got comments like color poop, which I never expected to hear. I was loving what I was using. Mainly it was an eyeshadow palette they had released, and I thought the formula was great. I was using it every day. And so I really pulled back from talking about ColourPop products. Also, a lot of people were saying the eyeshadows, the individual ones, dried out quickly, and the blushes and all of that. So I stopped buying the brand. But then we've heard so many different great reviews about ColourPop. So more recently, within the past year, I've started trying a lot of their products, buying them myself, seeing if they work on wrinkles. Do they work on mature skin? Are these formulas that they're developing now going to be great for someone my age, almost 60? So today we're doing a wear test. We're going to see if ColourPop has sort of turned things around. I've talked about some of their products over the past few months that I've been trying, like the bronzer, and I have a bunch of new things I purchased to try out to show you. Before I came on camera, I prepped my skin with this Tower 28 Intensive Rescue Serum. I am enjoying this so much. It's so hydrating. It's a gel formula, and it really sinks into the skin quickly. I'll even put a little more on now, and you'll see it just goes right in. So I think it's a perfect skincare product for applying under makeup because it just goes in quickly. It starts off a gel, but almost automatically turns into a water-feeling formula. So really great. I've already applied my Kiehl's eye cream. I've raved enough about this. And now for sunscreen, I am just really enjoying this prequel. This formula was created by a dermatologist, and it's just so thin, beautiful. And even though it looks like white, sort of pinky now, it doesn't leave a white cast. So it's perfect for under my makeup. It feels like moisturizer. My experience is I don't need a moisturizer on my skin. This sort of serves as enough moisture for me, plus a sunscreen. Now, I know that you need 3 strips full on your fingers. I'm just going to add it slowly. I don't like to put so much on my face all at one time. I like to sort of build it. So I'll just keep adding to it while we're talking. But I just think this is perfect for under makeup. I've worn it several times now, and it looks beautiful. And you can see it starting to sink in now, and the look is going away. Now, I'm super excited to try out these ColourPop products. I purchased everything in the video. Some of them I've used for a little while. Some are brand new. I've only used a few times, but I think a wear test is so important. Many times my makeup will look great when I first do it. And then as I go to work throughout the day, I notice the makeup changing. So that's why I really wanted to do a wear test for this video. Let's go ahead and put on this lip oil. I am enjoying this because it's really thin. Some of you don't like the thicker oils. I do love the NYX, the fat oil. I've read comments on other channels, people saying, oh, it's too thick for me, but this one's very thin. Look at how nice that goes on. Just glides on the lips. I like to leave something on my lips while I'm working on my makeup. We'll be doing eyes while everything else sort of sinks in, the sunscreen and the lip oil will be doing its job. I didn't have a ColourPop eyeshadow primer. I have in the past. I remember that it's very thin. I liked it. It didn't cover a lot of pigmentation in the eyelids. So I'll just be using my MAC Ochre today. And I like this because it does cover any discoloration that I have on the lid and gives more true to color of the shadows you're applying. When you see discoloration on the lid, it makes it harder for the shadow to look true to color. I do like going over this with a clean brush. I bought this set of ColourPop eye brushes. It comes in this beautiful container, and so that's what we'll be using today for the eyes. And I'm just going to blend this out with this clean brush. I've got a beautiful eyeshadow palette to share with you. It's Taupe is the name of the palette. It reminded me a lot of the Stone Fox palette that they have, but in a much smaller version of it. I feel like some of those larger palettes can be a little overwhelming. This has plenty of shades for me. What I like is you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes and then 4 shimmers. So that's perfect. I'm going to go with all mattes today. I've been really loving the mattes. Let's go in with this flat brush and we're going to sort of pack some shadow onto the lid. I'm going into the shade Pebble Beach and I'm going to just sort of rub it into the brush. I didn't notice much fallout. That is beautiful. I love this shade. Very soft. That's really nice. Let's take a brush and sort of blend the edges a little bit. This is one of those shades I would say could be one and done. Now I'm feeling these brushes. These are definitely not as soft as my BK Beauty brushes, but they're nice, especially considering the price that I paid. The brush is definitely working well. I really like that. Let's go in with another shade. I'm going to put a little of the lighter shade above just to blend things out here and into the area under the brow. I have a lot of space in this area, not so much on the lid, but a lot here, a lot of real estate. So I like to bring a very light shade up under the brow just so everything blends. This set has a small, tiny brush, which I really like. Let's go into this deeper shade, which is called Rock Steady. And we'll work this into the brush. And we'll add a little depth to the outer corner. We have a wonderful brush here with a slant. I like these for doing a little tiny wing here. I use my 208 BK Beauty for that. Let's try it with this one and see how that goes. That is working great. This brush is awesome. What I decided to do is go ahead and use it like eyeliner and then just pick it up at the edge. I'm cleaning my brush off and just going to buff the edges out. This shade right here, Boa, is great for buffing the edges. Let's go in with this beautiful, colorful liner. It's in the shade Joyride, and it's like a burgundy maroon shade. These glide. Look at how this glides on my hand. Just so quick and easy. I couldn't believe how smooth these were. I really want to try more shades. So I'll just go onto the eye and then we'll sort of smoke it out. I have 2 of ColourPop's mascaras. One is called Act Natural, and the second one's called Level Up. We're going to try Level Up today. This is actually a lengthening mascara, which I love. I love more length than necessarily volume. It has the sort of a Christmas tree type of brush, and I like that I can really get into the lashes with this. I have tried it, and I really liked it. Let me know in the comments any of your favorite ColourPop products or even fails. I would like to know those too if you tried something and you just weren't that fond of it. That would help all of us. Let's go ahead and try popping some of this Act Natural on top of it. I'm just curious. This is a fluffier brush, not as pointed as the other brush. Let's try a little bit of this mixed with it. I'm just curious if this will give me like more volume. It definitely is. I see the volume increasing. Do you ever use a volumizing mascara and a lengthening one? I used to do that a long time ago. I haven't done that in a while, especially since I've been using these tubing mascaras. But this definitely is giving me more volume. Let's go ahead and put on foundation. I'm so curious how this is going to last. It's the Pretty Fresh. This is a hyaluronic hydrating foundation. Now, I have been using setting spray mixed with my foundations most of the time now because I live in Florida. We're getting into a time of year when the humidity is incredible. Just walking to the mailbox, I feel like I've been sprayed with water in my face. So I'll be using ColourPop's No Filter. Now you can see you need to mix this up. The bottom here, it's separating. So make sure if you use any setting spray, really, you need to shake it up really good before you apply it. So I'll be using that mixed with this, and then I'm applying with my Sonia Kashuk makeup sponge that is slightly damp. But first, I have found there's a couple of ways you can go with this setting spray. You can spray it into your sponge and go over your skin like this. That works really well. Or you can mix it in with your foundation. So I'm going to put a little of this on now and then mix with the foundation. Now, I'm not going to bring the foundation all the way up. I'm going to stop about here because we'll be testing out their concealer. This is their Pretty Fresh concealer that goes along with the foundation. So let's get started. I can see a lot of pigment to this. I like the texture of it. You can see it's not so thick that it's hugging onto my skin. Let's go ahead and spray a couple of squirts, and then I'm just going to mix it up with my clean hands. I picked shade 85 medium. It's a neutral, 85N to try. And again, I don't want to bring it all the way up under the eyes, so I'm going to stop like right here. I found that I was buying foundations that were just too light for my skin, especially if I blend it out like this with a damp sponge. If you need more coverage, then I definitely would go in with a brush. But I'm going for a little thinner look, lighter look, so I'm using the damp sponge. I'm liking the way this looks. I think part of it too is the setting spray. This gives a little luminosity to the skin. I tried another ColourPop foundation a couple of years ago and had a rash from it, so it didn't work out for me. And that's made me sort of reluctant to try others. But I did use this the other day and had no reaction. I wanted to make sure I wouldn't have a reaction and then be stuck at school with my face on fire and breaking out. I have to do tests before I wear something all day. I'll do a patch test, try it out, because I have very reactive skin. A lot of you have written me and told me you have reactive skin, so I recommend that to everyone to patch test things before they go off wearing it, especially if you're leaving for work or you're going to be gone away from your house for a long time. You don't want to be having a reaction when you're out. I just wanted to mention that because I don't hear a lot of people talking about that, yet I have so many women write me and say how they're so reactive to products. So when I test things, I stay close to home where I can wash it off, get it off my face if I have any kind of reaction. I am Loving this. Look at this look. This is fabulous. Now, if this won't get into my fine lines and wrinkles all day, we have a beautiful foundation that's super affordable. Let's take a look. It's not sitting in my pores. All of my redness looks covered well. It's not heavy looking. I look for that. I'm almost 60. In a couple of months, I'll be 60. And I feel like some of these foundations weigh down my skin. I have to go very light with them. But this looks really good. I think this foundation actually really improved the look of my skin. Let's try out the concealer. Now, I do want to say I've tried this, and without some kind of moisture mixed with it, it was too drying. I could see it right away in the under eyes that my skin was pulling, and it just didn't look as nice as some I have that go underneath and just lay well. So what I did was mixed it with the setting spray, and that was a game changer. And I've been doing that anyway with concealers. So I'm just placing it on my hand like this, hitting it with the setting spray, mixing it. Sometimes I get a little too much setting spray, and then I have to go back and add just a little bit more concealer to the mix on my hand. And then let's take this ColourPop brush that came in the set. It's clean. I'm going to mix it in, get product on the brush, go on the outer corner, the inner corner, and just start blending. That definitely brightened me up. Let's see what shade that is. It's light. 60N is the shade number. Wow. That is looking awesome. Let's try the other eye. I need to add a little more. That wasn't enough for both eyes. Let's add a little more. And mix this. You don't need to have a brush made exactly for concealers. You can use a fluffy brush in the under eye. You might have one at home already. This sort of diffuses things too, just like some of the other brushes I've tried for concealers. So if my brushes I normally use are not clean, then I go in and I just take a fluffy, clean makeup brush and go over it. Beautiful. I'm going to do a little around here, around the sides of my nose. We'll see how that looks about 10 hours later, but right now it's looking really good. I purchased this bronze stick. This is in the shade La Jolla Cove. And let's add a little bit up here, a little here, a little along the jawline. So I don't have any more ColourPop brushes, only the eye set. So I'm taking out my BK Beauty 108 to do some blending. This is one of those multitasker brushes that just does it all. I love it for blush. It works great for bronzer, contour, even just to go over the entire face with it clean, just to take off any extra makeup that doesn't belong. This is an amazing multitasker. I'm going to go on the sides of the nose too. Just bronze that up a little bit. And bring it down on the neck. I'm a huge fan of these cream bronzers. They become part of your skin, part of the foundation, and don't sit on the skin. So far, this is a hit. Now we're going to go on to the cheeks. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Blush in a matte shade. It's the shade Holiday. And this formula is really strange. A lot of people didn't like it when it first came out. They thought, what is this? It's very spongy, almost a little bit like putty. But the color is beautiful on this. So let's just tap this onto the cheeks. I may not need a lot of blending with this. I'm going to grab a different clean brush. This is a Nikki LaRose brush. It's the N15. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. I love this shade. Very nice. Blended out easily. Again, any of these kind of spongy products from ColourPop, you need to be really careful about keeping the lid shut or else they'll dry out. Let's add a little powder. This is ColourPop's loose powder in translucent. It's their no filter setting powder. So I'm going to just take a powder brush from BK Beauty and work the powder in and just go over a few spots where I have more visible pores. So around the nose, like this, here, into the forehead, and along the chin. So the T-zone is my problem. I don't do powder all over the face. I really like to just use it in the T-zone, just to take some of the shine down. It'll come back from the humidity and my own oily skin, but I don't like to powder anymore all over. I prefer to take a clean brush and just go all over my face when I'm done and just blend everything well. And the powder's going to spread a little bit. I find that putting powder everywhere is just too much and really makes my skin look very heavy. So if I just go over everything at the end, it comes together nicely. I've never been a big fan of any ColourPop lip products except maybe their lip liners. I really have always enjoyed those, but I wish they had some beautiful lipsticks. Well, I found a new formula that I think is amazing. It's their glowing lip. And I went back actually and bought a second shade because I loved it so much. This is just a super colorful lip balm, but in gorgeous shades. Usually we see lip balms in pink, red, these kind of shades. These are beautiful. This one's called Let's Jet. This gives so much more of a feel of a lipstick than normal lip balms that I've tried. So that's why I went back and bought the second shade. This one just, I think, is a great shade. It gives a lot of warmth. It just really livens up everything. I'll put the name of the second shade. It's sort of worn off the tube here. I'll put it in the description of the video. All the links will be there. This lip liner is their So Juicy, and it's in the shade Tease. It's a beautiful nude. I thought this would go with so many lipsticks that I already own. So we'll do that first this time. I wanted to mention that because I had that lip oil on, all of these products, they normally glide, but they super glide. They go on so beautifully. These are just so hydrating. I am in love. And I am feeling, with this one, a peppermint feel. I didn't notice that on the other one, but this is giving me a hot feel right now. Let's try another one of their products. This is their So Juicy. This looks like the Tarte Maracuja. I have those. You pump it up from the bottom like this, and it comes up. And this is their Plumping Gloss Balm. I will warn you, I had the same experience with the Tarte Maracuja. It looks like a regular balm like this one, but the minute it hits your lips, it gets super moisturizing and very thick quickly. So you just need to dab a little bit, and then I use my finger to spread it out because it's very juicy. I have two more lip products I want to share with you. This is their Fresh Kiss, and this is their Ultra Glossy Lip. This Fresh Kiss is very thin on the lips, like any of the stains that you buy. It feels like the Benefit tint or many of the K-Beauty products that I've tried. I like the feel of it. This is a lip stain. So this is got a great feel to it. I think I'll end up wearing this during the day. But let's pop a little bit of the Ultra Glossy Lip on top of the stain to see how that would look. I like the feel of this. It just goes on not too thick. It's a thinner formula. Let me show you my hand here. Yeah, very thin. It's not a thick gloss like others that I've tried, and I think it works beautifully on top of the stain, but you could put it over any lipstick. These are the products I'll be wear testing today. It's 6:12 in the morning, and I will be back to the house around 4:30, and we'll see how the makeup looks then. It's 4:31 in the afternoon. Let's see how everything held up. We'll start off with the foundation, the Pretty Fresh. I'm thinking it looks great. Now, I don't know if it would hold up as well without the setting spray. I really feel that setting spray, no matter what the foundation is, makes such a huge difference. And I didn't used to use setting sprays, and that's why I think I had a lot of issues with makeup holding up in the high humidity of the summer. So I've been loving using them, but this definitely held up. I see a little bit getting into this fine line here where I could maybe blend that out. But overall, I don't see it in any of my fine lines or creases that I have on the face. I think it looks really great. The color's intact. I don't see any blotchiness with the foundation. It didn't change colors. I think it was a great shade for me too. I'm really happy. I was a little worried if I bought the right shade or not. So it really seemed to just hit a home run on that one. Let's talk about the eyeshadow, the taupe palette. I think everything looks really intact. Of course, again, I always prime my eyes no matter what shadow that I use, but I think this is a great little palette. The lip oil I started the video with, I really like it. It's very thin. So if you like something thick on your lips, then I wouldn't purchase this. But if you're the opposite and you like something really thin, I think you'll love it. The eyeliner, this is such a unique shade. It's like a burgundy maroon kind of a shade. And if you look, it's still on the eyes. I really think it held up great. It didn't smudge. I don't see any like underneath the eye here, and I haven't done any touching up or anything, so that held up really good. The mascara, I think is good. It's not amazing, but I did like it, especially when I did the two, but I would never want somebody to have to buy two mascaras to get a good look. I just happen to already have this Act Natural, so I wanted to see when I used the Level Up, it gave me some length, but not much volume. So the Act Natural seemed to give a lot more volume. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying this, but since I've got it, I'm going to use it up. And maybe I'll change my opinion. I'll let you know after I've used it longer. The concealer. I think the concealer, I'm looking in my mirror because I have a mirror here that's like 10 times. So I'm going to look up a little closer. I really think I have a little bit in the fine lines here, a little bit, but not terrible. I don't think it works as good as my Winky Lux or my Fiera concealer. I think those are really off the chain, amazing. I felt like this dried a little bit more, was more drying in the under eyes. So I don't know about this. I wouldn't run out to get this. I feel like it's good, but not amazing. Let's talk about the bronzing stick. So I'm looking and I definitely still see the bronze. I love the way it applied. It applied really easily, blended out easily. I was thrilled with it. So that one was a real winner. I think it worked as great as some that I've tried that have been high end. So this would be something, if you like cream bronzer, I think this is a good one. Let's talk about the lips. The lip liners, they make incredible lip liners. I have some others of the pencils you sharpen, and I like this retractable, this So Juicy. This liner went on so smoothly. I really like it. I think it performs really well. So if they have a shade you like, then I say go for it. It's definitely worth purchasing. Now let's talk about the lips. Right now, I'm wearing the lip stain. It did not last for hours as long as, say, Maybelline. Some of the Maybelline I've used have lasted all day. I would go to lunch, and even after coffee and water, I would still have it on. This wore off, but it wore off nicely. In other words, it didn't seem to get into my fine lines. It just sort of faded. So I think it's a good one. I don't know that it's the top one. Like I said, I really like the Maybelline so much, but it is good. It's a good product. The gloss, I think, is beautiful. I don't know that I would run out to get it unless you see a shade you like. If there's a shade in this that really you've been looking for, I think it's worth a go. It's not super thick. It's a thin gloss, offers a nice amount of shine, and again, at an affordable price. What I would really recommend getting is the glowing lip. These are amazing. I think they're so gorgeous. I love the way they feel on my lips. They are fantastic. This is something, that's why I went back and got another one. This is something that I would put on every day. And it's so comfortable and it gives a lot of color. So I was very surprised by these in a great way. And if you've been wanting one of these click up kind of juicy lip products like the Tarte, then I say this is worth a go too. It felt nice on my lips. I'm not as big a fan of these that are a little gloopy. I have the Tarte. I've got several of them, and I like the idea of the click up, and it's just goes on sort of heavy in my opinion. So I have to be really careful to get it the way I want it. What I try to do is just dab a little bit and then spread it out. If you go over the whole lip, you just have too much product. But they melt so quickly. And plus you have to imagine I'm in Florida in this heat. So when it's sitting here in my filming room, it gets very melty. But I do like it. It feels great on the lips. But my favorite of all of them are these, the glowing lip. These are just wonderful. Let's talk about the brushes. I believe this is a great little brush set. It has every brush you really need for your eyes. If you're looking for a little set that's all put together that would have everything you need, then I say this is great. You got a cute little container to keep them in. So if you're looking for affordable brushes, I really did enjoy these. They are not as soft as BK Beauty brushes. And really, I think even I bought some brushes from Profusion, and the Profusion brushes are softer too. So if you're looking for something super soft, I will link the eye set from Profusion that I bought. That's super affordable too. But these are nice brushes. They're not scratchy. They're just not as soft as those. The blush, I think the blush is beautiful. It's a unique formula, this sort of spongy kind of product. I don't know that everyone's going to like them because over time I've found when I've bought these before, they do dry out faster, and I think I throw them away before I throw away other powder blushes like from Revlon or Milani. Now they do have a blush now, some that are powder form like that I'll be showing you in another video. I think the color still looks beautiful and everything held up really well. So it's a great product. I just want to warn you that these blushes seem to not last quite as long as a regular powder. Let's talk about the powder. I think it looks great. Now you can see I'm getting a lot of shine breaking through. So if you have a powder like this and it's 10 hours or so, you're going to need to add a little bit more. Let's put a little on the face right now. I'll just dab in a little bit and press it. But I loved it. It felt nice on my skin. It was very light powder. So if you're looking for something that's light and just to sort of diffuse your pores, take some of the oil off the T-zone, then I think this is a really good one. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you saw today that interested you and your opinion about ColourPop. Are there any products you've bought from them either you didn't like, that weren't your favorites, or something that you really loved that you even have bought multiple times? Let us know in the comments. All of the links for everything, as usual, are in the description of the video. I love you all so much. Thank you for your love, your kindness, support. I truly appreciate you.